Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Buckets and Birdies podcast.
Buckets and Birdies is a weekly glimpse into the worlds of basketball and golf.
We'll also balance national sports trends with ACC insights
and provide a lens of notable happenings of sports in our home state of North Carolina.
Two friends and industry professionals getting together to bring you 23 minutes of fun each week with shared experiences around buckets
and birdies.
He's Carter Bills, sports agent and seasoned consultant in the golf space.
Joining me on the mic is national champion, Tar Heel great, Marcus Ginyard.
Welcome to Buckets and Birdies.
Welcome to another episode of the Buckets and Birdies podcast.
Marcus, it's Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th, the day after the Carolina Duke game. What a weekend. I am in Pebble Beach this week where the PGA Tour is. Where are you?
I am in sunny Miami, Florida, my friend. And what a glorious day it is indeed. Um, I'm still just buzzing, man. I can't quite get over the fact that the game ended the way that it did. Seth Trimble hits this. I mean, listen, we're going to get into it, man, but I am just heart still pounding, man. Heart still pounding.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. We were just together in Chapel Hill. Now we've both gone our separate ways. When everyone's hearing this, it'll be Friday, February 13th all of a sudden.
Yes, sir, because we're dropping every new episode Friday at high noon.
Thanks to everyone for catching up with us for 23 minutes of Buckets and Birdies. And as positive people who like positive things, Marcus, we'll start out today's episode as we do always with our quote of the day. And the quote of the day, Marcus, today is, "He never talks about me. He always talks about we. And he always talks about thee."
All right, tell me more about this, Carter, because I didn't even see this quote.
This is Coach Hubert Davis, of course, talking about Caleb Wilson in the post-game press conference, just talking about what a great kid he is, all the obligations he had coming into the Carolina Duke game, all the weight he had on his shoulder, and he never makes it about himself. He makes it about the team, even though he put the heels on the shoulder a little bit in the first half, especially last night in the Smith Center, Marcus.
Carter, you and I, of course, love Caleb Wilson. All the Tar Heel faithful love Caleb Wilson. But it's just so incredibly, exciting and refreshing to see a young player with so much talent. And like Coach Hubert Davis says, is really always thinking about other people. I'll tell you a quick story. We were working out this summer in the Smith Center, and I drove down the tunnel to come into the Smith Center to work out later in the evening. And Caleb had his car parked in the middle of the tunnel. So if someone were to be in the tunnel, it may block somebody on the way out, but you wouldn't know because the door was closed. So I told him, I said, "Hey, Caleb, whenever you're parking down here, just make sure you park on the left side because you never know if somebody's going to be coming out." He was like, "Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Guignard. Do you want me to go move the car right now?" And I was like, "Nah, man. Just wanted to give you a heads up about it, moving forward." But, just a guy that, again, is not all caught up in himself, wants to do the right thing, is a great kid. And so I'm just really excited to see him get to experience that night last night and for him to be such a big part of it, for him to get some praise for being a great kid that he is. We all see what he does out there on the court, but he's a great young man as well.
No doubt about it. It takes us right off the top. And as you think about Caleb, I mean, when have we had a freshman in North Carolina, Marcus, that had this big of a personality? We've had big-time freshmen, but a guy that says everyone in the Smith Center is going to wear white, and they wear white. Everyone for the Duke game is going to wear Carolina blue, and everybody shows up in Carolina blue. Like, I don't remember a time when a freshman commanded not only the university, but the Carolina fans at large the way that Caleb Wilson does. It's special.
Man, the energy is electric. It's you feel it immediately when he gets out there on the court. I get most comfortable when he's out there smiling. I know he's having a good time. I know he's about to really zone in and lock in, but it's when he's enjoying the game. And I think it's very evident, very clear when he's out there. And when I see him break that first smile, man, I'm always really fired up to see what's coming next. So it's awesome to have that type of energy in the Smith Center to get all these people together, feeling the same way and energetic. I mean, God, he lit that place on fire last night, man.
No doubt. And we go from the freshman star to now the senior star. Coach Davis's first four-year player, Seth Trimble, hits a shot, Marcus, that etches his name in North Carolina basketball history, hits a shot that makes no one ever forget the name Seth Trimble. What a moment for him. What a moment for Carolina basketball.
Man, you just said it, man. Etched in stone forever will be on that reel when we talk about the greatest rivalry in sports. Seth Trimble's name is going to be heard shouted from the rooftops, man. That video, I mean, I'm literally replaying that video probably 20 or 30 times on the plane. I'll tell you another quick story. I was just in the Whole Foods in Coral Gables. Somebody saw my hat, mentioned the game, and I said, "Hey, man, yeah, I was there last night." He was like, "Oh, so you just came home this morning?" I was like, "No, I live in Chapel Hill." He's like, so man, you were at the game. How was it, man? I pulled up the video, watched it another couple times with him in the Whole Foods aisle, man. So, gosh, I look forward to seeing that clip getting replayed over and over again. And I got to imagine Seth is just on top of the world right now.
And as we're into buckets with Seth being on top of the world, no doubt. Another quote this week, Marcus, beyond our quote of the day, just important, I think, are the words that Trimble's head coach Hubert Davis had to say about him after the game. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the post game yet, but Coach Davis says it's perfect. He was the one. During this time of NIL and the transfer portal, having a kid as accomplished as Seth to stay at one school for 4 years. That shot was made by the perfect person at the right time. He's deserving of being remembered forever, of the commitment, of the devotion that he's made to his teammates, to this program, and to this university, and to this community. It couldn't have gone to a better person. And I'm so proud and so happy for him in this moment. I mean, what more could you want your coach to say about you? What a moment for Seth.
I mean, you can't ask for anything else. I mean, that is the most perfect description of that moment, and I could not agree with Coach Davis more. It was meant to be destiny for him to be the one to make that shot, and it's really awesome to see a guy come up freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, go through moments where hit a little adversity and wasn't sure if this was the place, but stuck it out and really gained the love of the fan base, and we got to watch him grow. And he's gotten better and better and better, and now just blossomed into this phenomenal player that he is. And so I agree with Coach Davis. I think it's awesome that he's the one. Makes the most sense for me. And yeah, man, gosh, just getting the chills talking about it. Shout out Seth Trimble, man, goated forever.
No doubt. You and I are both on the road this week, Marcus. It takes me back to a few springs ago. I think we were both on the road. We're coming into Greensboro. We end up going to the ACC tournament together. I think the Heels had suffered a tough loss to Virginia. We go to dinner in Greensboro after. I remember we saw Seth and his family. His mom comes over and hugs you. And I don't know if you remember that, but I just remember you telling me what a special kid he was,
Yeah.
what a special family he had, because she said something in that moment like, don't worry, we're not going anywhere. I remember her saying something like that. It was in the moment where we had a lot of guards. You end up having, Caleb Love, who ends up moving on. We had RJ Davis stay and had a great career. And now Seth has stayed and had a great career. And gosh, you got to know he's proud to have stayed through it all and is a Tar Heel that'll be remembered forever.
Yeah, I remember that moment too, man. We were at the Proximity Hotel after the game, sitting in a little corner over there by the bar, and I remember that well too. Tyler Nichols' family was over there, and I remember him
Yeah.
being one that left after that as well. So, just
Yeah.
really fortunate for us that Seth decided to stay. We're certainly glad that he did, and last night was just a perfect example of that.
Absolutely. And as we talk about buckets, Marcus, let's get straight to it. You, Pablo Vega, our producer, myself, we got to spend some time together. We were all in the building. But take us through for everyone else who doesn't get to see what a Carolina Duke weekend looks like. For you as a Carolina basketball alum, it is a homecoming, no doubt. The amount of people we saw, talk us through who you saw. What does Marcus Ginyard's schedule look like? I know it's a busy one. What are some of those moments you can share with our listeners that go on a Carolina Duke weekend for you?
And you're right. It is a homecoming, but like a homecoming plus a trip to Disneyland, plus a family reunion. I mean, like it's just like everything all together, man. There's just so much energy. The weather was great too, which was good. A nice, beautiful day to be out in Chapel Hill. I actually got a workout in the morning with some former teammates of mine, myself, Bobby Fraser, Tyler Hansbrough, 8:30 in the morning. We were in there lifting. Then we walked out to game day, got to see some fans, got to see some folks that I work with, got to see some other players. So that was really cool to get that experience kind of from behind the scenes and watch college game day in the Smith Center. I had to run to Raleigh to go to a fundraiser, but made it back in time in the early afternoon for another pregame opportunity over at the business school with the chancellor and some other folks in the office, and so got to meet a lot of different folks that we work with in the administration. And then, man, I heard everybody was at the Carolina Inn. I wish I had time to get up there and see some buddies that were at the Carolina Inn. And as you can imagine, I mean, there's people everywhere in Chapel Hill. And then just made it back in time to get into the Smith Center right around 5:30, 5:45, where I met Pablo. We walked in and man, just loved thinking about all that energy, seeing all the students waiting in line. But you said it perfectly, man. It's a homecoming. You get to get all the homies that are coming into town from all over the country. Had some friends in from Denver. Had Matt Roberts come in from Greensboro. I mean, just folks from all over. And so to have that moment as former players and as alums, feels almost as exciting as it is to be a player out there.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, great to spend time with our great mutual friend, Matt. You mentioned Bobby Fraser, Tyler Hansberg. Keep me honest about the Tunnel Hill, Marcus. There was Kenny Williams, Theo Pinson, Raymond Felton. We saw Coach Roy Williams, Coach Larry Brown,
Yep.
Antoine Jameson, who apparently pumped the team up walking through late in the tunnel. Who else was in the building? Who am I missing?
Phil Ford was in the building.
Phil
Justin
Ford.
Jackson was in the building. Mike Copeland was in the building. Who else? Rayshon Terry was in the building. Melvin
Yep.
Scott. A lot of champs, man. Had a lot of
A lot of
championship rings
champs.
in the building. And I know I'm missing some other folks too, man. Brian Reese, Terrence Newby. Yeah, man.
The legendary Ed Cota.
Yes, sir. Ed Cota came through. That's right. Ed Cota
Eddie
came
Cota.
through. Loved that. That was amazing to see him. I don't get to see him too often. He comes about once or twice a year. So good to see Ed Cota, one of the most
Where does
amazing
Marcus? Where does
point
Ed?
guards
Where does
ever.
Ed live now?
My understanding is that he's in Charlotte. I typically run into
Okay.
Ed when I'm in Charlotte. So I believe he's based out of Charlotte.
Man, magic with the ball. I think still the all-time assist leader in the ACC, if I'm not mistaken.
Could be, would not surprise me.
Unbelievable. 3 Final Fours for that guy. The thing you said it, I was thinking about as you were listing the names. There's a lot of contributors to the big banners, meaning the national championship banners in the Smith Center of the guys you just listed. And wow, what a who's who of Carolina basketball, and what a day. And one that the Tar Heel alum, the Tar Heel faithful, the Tar Heel basketball fraternity that you're a part of will all equally never forget the 2026 Carolina Duke game in the Smith Center. Seth Trimble hits the buzzer-beating game winner for the win. We'll never forget it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just got the chills as you described that again, man.
It makes us think, Marcus, as we continue to talk about buckets, what are some of the great North Carolina basketball shots of all time? We won't go which bucket getter am I today, because I think both of our bucket getters and all of Tar Heel Nation's bucket getter for today is Seth Trimble. Is that fair?
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is.
That is fair. So we will go, who else got some of the most memorable buckets of all time? I'll hit you, Marcus, with what I think are my top 5 shots in North Carolina history. Now, a couple of these shots, Marcus, we were not old enough to see, but we know exactly who they are, what they were, and what they meant to Carolina basketball. So here are my top 5. Number 5, 2005 at home in the Smith Center, Carolina Duke, Marvin Williams on the putback to put the Heels over the Blue Devils. Special shot, special moment for Carolina.
I was almost in the exact same spot that I was last night for that game with Marvin Williams with my mom and my brother, his wife. That was a recruiting visit for me. So I love that moment too,
Wow.
man.
I was going to ask you. I knew you weren't in school yet. I was going to ask if you were in the building. So you were on a recruiting visit there.
Yep. You can see me in the picture, man. Couple rows up.
Special. Number 4, I've got it. No recency bias. I've thought long and hard about this. Number 4, Seth Trimble, February 7th, 2026. Seth Trimble dagger to beat Duke to take the first lead of the game, Marcus, to win last night, as we've talked about at length.
Unreal. First lead with 0.04 seconds or zero point 0.4 seconds left to go in the game. You can put this anywhere in your top 5 and it's acceptable.
All right, number 3 for me. This could go number 1 for some Tar Heels, but I got a feeling everybody will know what number 1 might be. Number 3, I've only heard about. I know you know it well. This is before the three-point line. 1974 Carolina Duke. Walter Davis helps lead Carolina on one of the greatest comebacks of all time. Down 8 points with 17 seconds. No three-pointers. Hits a 35-foot shot to send the game in overtime. Ultimately, Carolina beats Duke. 8 points in 17 seconds. You say that in Carolina basketball, and the faithful know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, Carter, there's a funny story about that as well. I got to talk to a gentleman last night, the father of a longtime Carolina basketball family member, and he was at that game back in 1974. And he said himself that the game last night, that moment, Seth Trimble hitting that three for him was a toss-up. So you got him great in your lineup. There's no doubt, man. Those are potentially interchangeable moments on a top 5 list.
Potentially interchangeable moments. So we're going to go from 3 to 2. I'm going to give the Elite Eight game, given that it was in the tournament, just a slight nod over the 3 great ones we've listed so far. Luke May, buzzer beater to beat the Kentucky Wildcats.
Love it. Love everything about that. We got Super Bowl Sunday. Big day
Super
for the
Bowl
Mays.
Sunday.
But yeah, that was an awesome shot, man. We'll always love that one.
And number 1, none other than the moment when Mike Jordan became Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan hits the shot to win the championship for the North Carolina Tar Heels in 1982 over John Thompson and the mighty Georgetown Hoyas. What a special one to give Dean Smith his first championship. It's a number one for me. I imagine it's probably the number one for most.
I would imagine so, but I think you might get some. You might get some pushback in the comments this week about your top five, but I love it. To be fair, I love it. But another great thing about this program is that there's so many incredible moments like that make these top fives and best of kind of tough. But yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody's feedback on your top five, man.
I thought about this a lot, and you actually had during your time at North Carolina a lot of great shots. I mean, you think about Ty Lawson's floater at Florida State, right? To win.
Amazing.
The 3-point floater. Have you seen a 3-point floater before that? I don't know that I've seen that. Wayne Ellington, Marcus, at Clemson in your time, right? Hits a buzzer beater or near buzzer beater to win.
I mean, almost exactly the same, right? With zero point 0.4 seconds to go on the clock. I will say that play back in 2008 at Clemson, go back and run that film. There was an elite inbounds pass by your boy, MG.
Number one?
No, listen,
Number
I had
one? Yes.
absolutely nothing to do with that play. But love that I got to just kind of initiate that and have a front row seat to an amazing moment. I mean, Wayne Ellington, just one of the best shooters that I've ever played with, just knocking down an all-time clutch moment shot at Clemson. And also run that film and watch old Bobby Fraser fall and bust his ass because he was celebrating too hard on the bench,
Your boy.
recovering from his knee injury.
That's too funny. Too funny. Wayne, gosh, probably one of the, if not the purest strokes in all of college basketball and NBA history. What a jump shooter Wayne Ellington was.
Make it Wayne.
Make it Wayne. And the top five, as we talked about, was extremely difficult to think about the top five greatest shots in North Carolina basketball history. I would be remiss if I didn't give one honorable mention, Marcus. I think had the North Carolina Tar Heels won the 2016 NCAA tournament, the second greatest shot behind Michael Jordan's for the win would have been Marcus Page double clutch three-pointer to tie the ball game. Everyone thought we were going to overtime. Chris Jenkins obviously hits a magical shot to win. Most of the team comes back for the redeem team in 2017 for the Tar Heels, which was nice. But that shot by Marcus, if we win the game, I'm not so sure it's not the second greatest shot in North Carolina basketball history. Degree of difficulty, 11 out of 10?
Maybe a 12 or 13 out of 10. I mean, it was an absolutely impossible shot. And it feels like that should still be up there regardless of the outcome. I mean, it was such an incredible shot in a big moment. Oh, man, but
I
Carter,
agree.
speaking of the Final Four, man, how did you leave out Caleb Love's shot to end Coach K's career
Oh,
in
no.
New Orleans in 2022? Speaking of
Yeah.
Bobby Fraser again, by the way, incredible celebration after that shot. We're gonna have to pull up the video on that one. That's my number one, actually. That's my
Yeah,
number one.
I don't know who I bumped, but I made a huge error forgetting Caleb Love putting the nail in the coffin to Coach K in the Final Four. That if that's not in the top five, I don't know what is. So that's a
It's gotta be.
mistake on my part. Yeah.
It's got to be. But again, back to my point. You think about all-time starting fives at Carolina, biggest moments, biggest shots, et cetera, et cetera. I
Who
mean,
do you bump?
exactly. There's
Yeah.
so many great moments, so many great players. And that's just one of the things that we're so proud of. And that's what makes these things so difficult. Gosh, how do we even forget a moment that big, right? So it's just a testament to how great this program is, man.
Shout out to Caleb Love, man. He will never be forgotten for that one either and is beloved for it.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, Carter, that takes us nicely into our birdie section of the day. What's going on in waste management out there?
Absolutely. Yeah. As you mentioned, the PGA Tour is at the Waste Management Phoenix Open this week. They're at TPC Scottsdale at the stadium course. Sunday action is live going on right now. We typically have a winner when we get on our podcast each week, Marcus. But right now, after nearly missing the cut, one would think, shooting 2 over on Thursday, Scotty Scheffler shoots 65 on Friday, makes the cut, and has marched his way into second place. He was in 2 shots off the lead when we started, as you and I were chatting. He's now only 1 shot back. He's got 1 hole to play. Hideki Matsuyama, another Masters champion, is the leader through 13 holes now, and he's 6 under. Michael Thorbjornsen, the great young phenom out of Stanford, is 15 under par, playing with Hideki also through 13 holes. But the story is Scottie Scheffler, probably playing carefree after a tough first round, is marching. And Marcus, I'm not so sure it doesn't feel like those days when Tiger Woods was coming. And it's going to be interesting to see if those guys feel Scottie here down the stretch.
Well, they got to be feeling him, man. Well, I mean, what do you think?
He's got enough gas in the tank. He's got one hole left for him. The question is, will the guys be able to put any birdies in the 3 or 4 holes left those leaders have? Let's see what they can do.
That's fair. That's fair. Thank you, Carter, for the update on the PGA Tour out of Waste Management. But my man, we got to talk about this game, man. Let's talk some more Carolina Duke hoops, man.
Absolutely. That brings us nicely to our Beyond the Box Score section. And everything Marcus and I talk about each week is Beyond the Box Score. But specifically, we look at one story from the North State Journal's Beyond the Box Score feature in its sports section.
The North State Journal is North Carolina's only statewide newspaper.
To read more from the North State Journal, check out nsjonline.com. And Marcus, your wish is my command. We will continue to talk about North Carolina beating Duke because our Beyond the Box Score story focus this week focuses on a streak that had Duke at nearly 700, I think actually 700 on the nose, days of a winning streak, given that they beat North Carolina 3 times last year. The Tar Heels, of course, bring an end to that streak with a win over Duke in the Smith Center this past week.
Man, those are the streaks that you do want to break, right? Those losing streaks. So glad that we got on the better end of history last night. But that just again, man, it just speaks to why this rivalry is so incredible. You think about how intense that game was last night, and that Duke came in there on a 3-game win streak, 700 days or whatever it is. I mean, that's incredible. But we'll see how long now we can flip the script here, see how long Carolina goes on a win streak against Duke, and it's not going to be too long, or we're going to be facing off again, man. So exciting to see that change, and looking forward to running up the days as Carolina on a win streak, man.
All right, one flashback for this week, Marcus. Last week we talked about that the last time North Carolina and Duke played on February 7th, it was a good omen for the Hills. They won that game. Of course, they win again on February the 7th, so we will continue to like that day. One thing I failed to mention, February 7th, a special day, the day of the passing of Dean Smith. I could only smile when I saw that online and realized that maybe he was watching up above as Seth Trimble let that one go in the corner late Saturday evening.
That's so beautiful, man. I didn't know that either, actually, and so that's great that moment gets to come together the way that it did. There's no better way to end it for Seth or for us. Thanks again for tuning in to Buckets and Birdies podcast.
That's 23 minutes of our thoughts for you. For Marcus Ginyard, I'm Carter Bills.
We'll catch you next time.